Electric scooters are becoming increasingly popular in Brazil, whether it's because of fuel savings, convenience, or also the lower maintenance costs. And in this video, I'm going to show you the urban scooter from MAD in detail, okay? I'll answer whether you need a driver's license to ride this scooter. I'll ride around the city, hit the road too, and try to go up a hill. Do you think it can make it? By the way, is the urban scooter the best electric one in Brazil? Watch until the end and find out. And who is it for? Well, the name says it all. Urban is a scooter for you to ride around the city with an urban focus. It's for those who are looking for a vehicle to get around easily, quickly, and without any hassle. Economically, of course, not just in terms of fuel, but also maintenance. I'll talk more about that in a bit. It's also for those who want to stop using public transportation or leave the car in the garage, since driving a car has become so expensive. Or even for someone who has a bigger motorcycle for traveling, but wants a simple, light, and affordable scooter to use in the city. It's designed for people like me, living in gated communities who don't want to drive just to reach the gate or get something from the bakery. It's also really nice to leave it, for example, at your beach house or country house because you don't need to bring a gas can. You can just leave it there. And when you want to use it, just recharge it in the outlet. In my opinion, it's an electric scooter, an electric vehicle. It's also for people who like technology, who likes to try new things, to be at the forefront. That's really good. And last but not least, it's for people who are concerned about the environment. Since an electric scooter doesn't emit carbon monoxide, too. But then there's always that whining from people who might write in the comments. Oh, Amanda, but the electric vehicle uses as much or even more than a combustion vehicle. Guys, the legislation for battery disposal, for example, is really strict. So you're not just going to throw the battery in the river, okay? But I'm not going to get into that debate, especially because usually the people who write about this have never actually shown a spreadsheet directly comparing battery manufacturing with oil extraction. But let's go. Let's suppose that making the chassis causes the same pollution whether you're making an electric or a combustion motorcycle. Okay, so that's a tie. Then let's suppose that from extracting the battery to making the battery, it pollutes the same amount as extracting oil, distributing it, refining it, and turning it into gasoline. There, battery and oil are neck and neck. But when it comes to the vehicle, combustion emits carbon monoxide too, and the electric motorcycle doesn't. So the electric motorcycle does win in terms of sustainability. But look, if you're not worried about the environment, I'm sure you care about your wallet, your money, and that's where the electric motorcycle really shines in terms of savings. So really, even though people say that electricity, the kilowatt hour in Brazil is going up and has increased over time, it doesn't even compare to the cost of fuel, whether it's gasoline or ethanol. So yes, the electric vehicle is much more economical than the combustion vehicle. And to wrap things up, who is it for? Yes, I do recommend it for beginners. You went there, got your driver's license, you don't have experience with scooters, you can start with this electric scooter, the Urban from MAD, and you won't have any difficulties. Regarding the design, in my opinion, it's very beautiful. I don't know any other electric scooter that has such a cool design as this one, and in my opinion, it doesn't even look electric. I want to know your opinion. Write in the comments if you agree with me. Flat floor, something really cool. I love scooters with a flat floor because I like to carry a lot of things. So you can carry backpacks and bags without any difficulty. There's even a little hook here for you to attach and carry things more safely. Here we have a small storage compartment for you to carry glasses and other items. On the left side, we have a cap that looks like a fuel tank opening. Obviously, it's fake, right, guys? Here we have a retractable footrest for the passenger, which is really nice. And down here, I like that there's a cover to hide all the mechanical parts and connections of the engine with the scooter, and also the cables and the brake.
It looks like they put a lot of effort into it, and we also have the passenger handle here.
The color is beautiful and matches the scooter well. There are many interesting red details. Here on the lever, we have the handlebar weight, we have the master cylinder covers, and several other red accessories that, in my opinion, matched well with the scooter, because it doesn't look too flashy and gives it a slightly sportier touch. And it also has a carbon texture in several places. For example, here on the mirror and on the fender. I thought it was really cool. Regarding the lights, here in the front we have the headlight assembly LED headlight. The turn signals are integrated into the fairing and conventional bulbs, just like in the taillight. It's robust overall. It weighs 157 kilograms already considering the batteries. And what's nice is that it has a very good load capacity. It's 220 kilograms of maximum load, including the rider, passenger, and also luggage. And the seat here is very beautiful. It has this carbon texture. I think it's really well finished. There's a lumbar support for the rider. It's a very comfortable seat, and it has a height of 75.5 centimeters from the ground. And here, getting on, I can easily put both feet on the ground. I'm 177 centimeters tall, and I had no difficulty at all. The riding position is very comfortable here. The handlebars are in a relaxed position for my arms, and like I said, flat floor, so you stay at a 90-degree angle. I found it very comfortable. I had no difficulty at all with this scooter. Here in the center of the key, we have something really interesting that helps with our safety. It locks the slot right here, which is great because it prevents someone sneaky from coming and messing with or taking this scooter away. And here on the key, you see, there's already a position for you to unlock it very easily. You just put it here, and to open the seat, just turn it counterclockwise. One cool thing is that the Urban, guys, besides 2 keys, as you can see here, also comes with 2 alarms. Look how interesting. And this alarm has some buttons, for example. The last one here helps you locate your scooter. Very cool. Another thing, for example, is that you can lock it with the first button. I locked the scooter, parked it, went to work, for example. What happens if someone comes to steal your scooter? I'll show you what happens. It even locks me. It locked the scooter. It moved it backward. If I insist, look at this. It doesn't move. Help. Very good, right? And the cool thing is that you don't have to pay anything extra for it. It already comes from the factory. Of course, if you deactivate it properly, that's it. Look at the difference. No difficulty at all. The batteries are located here under the seat. There are 6 in total, okay? It's not removable, which means you can't take it out to recharge at home, for example. But according to MAD, if you need to replace it, they have it and you can replace it easily. There's a circuit breaker here that's common, guys. All the electric motorcycles I've tested had this system. It might seem strange, but it's actually nice because if you're going to leave the scooter or electric motorcycle unused for a while, people even recommend that you turn off the circuit breaker, okay? And here on the side, we have a compartment for you to carry various items like a jacket, a small bag, or even a raincoat. Yes, you can ride the Urban. Even if it's raining, you won't get shocked, okay? And if you're riding it and it starts to rain, it won't let you down, okay? You can also bring its charger with you, which is very important. In fact, I always suggest that you take it with you. And the cool thing is that you don't need to make any changes in your house. You don't have to change any wires or pull anything from the meter. No. Why is that, guys? Here, look, it's a 3-prong outlet, the Brazilian standard. I can't do anything about the 3 prongs, okay? But look, the charger here is dual voltage. So that's really good. You can charge your motorcycle without any trouble, basically using the same outlet you use to charge your cell phone. You can charge the Urban. And to charge it, just plug it in here. and this goes into the outlet without any difficulty. On average, it takes about 6 to 7 hours for you to fully charge all the batteries. So guys, you can easily get home from work, go there, recharge it, do your things, and the next day when you go to work, it will be 100% charged. And the opposite is true as well. If you get to work and stay there for 6 or 8 hours, just leave it charging and you can go back home without any problems. In other words, you'll always ride your scooter fully charged without difficulties. Of course, if it had a removable battery, it would definitely be more practical. However, nowadays, buildings are increasingly adapting to the new reality, which is electric vehicles, not just motorcycles, but also cars. And remember that in new buildings, it seems like the law kind of requires them to have an area for you to recharge electric vehicles. For those living in buildings, recharging is becoming increasingly convenient. Now, if you live in a house like I do, you won't have any trouble. And the cool thing is that, according to MAD, its range with a full battery is 80 kilometers. And how much does it cost to fill up the tank, to recharge for those 80 kilometers of range? Well, according to MAF, to recharge the batteries to full, you'll use 2.2 kilowatt hours. All over Brazil, we have different kilowatt hour rates. But on average, someone told me you'll spend about 2.84, 2 reais and 84 cents to go up to 80 kilometers. Guys, that's really cheap. The cost per kilometer comes out to 0.03 reais. That's right, it's really cheap. As I mentioned, even if electricity prices go up over the years, it will still be infinitely cheaper than the cost of either gasoline or ethanol. Remember that our energy matrix in Brazil is very diversified. We're not at the mercy of finding oil prices going up or down. So electric vehicles are definitely very economical. Both wheels are size 12 and use tubeless rim tires. The cool thing is that the inflation valve is L-shaped, which makes it much easier for us motorcyclists when inflating the tires. Here at the back, the secret of the Urban, just like 99% of the electric motorcycles I've ridden, is that the motor is here in the rear wheel, right in the center, well protected, and it doesn't use any kind of transmission since it's the rear wheel that drives the scooter. It's a 3,000 watt motor, in line with most of the scooters we have on the market. So I found the motor to have a very good nominal power. Reminder, directly comparing them is incorrect. Online conversion is possible but not ideal or the proper method. Comparing watts to horsepower isn't accurate because the motors have different performances and different behaviors, so we can't really compare the performance of watts with a combustion motorcycle, okay? But just so you know, electric scooters are pretty powerful right from the start, so be careful when you're riding. One very important thing we always need to consider when choosing an electric scooter is the balance between range and top speed. According to MAD, the top speed of this scooter is 85 kilometers per hour, which means that, for example, to ride in São Paulo, that's more than enough speed, since most roads there are 50 kilometers per hour and at most 60 in some places. Since its focus is urban, I think it works well. Also, remember that the more you accelerate, the more battery you'll use, okay? It features 3 riding modes that you can switch between by simply twisting the handle. The module here is quite fancy, not even a small button. You can easily twist it here and you can even do it while riding. So here we have, starting with sport mode, which gives you more power, lets the motor run freer, and of course, uses more battery. We have the drive mode, which would be the normal mode. We have here, look, the reverse at the end. Yes, it has reverse gear. I'll show you in a moment. And this P here means parking. So even if it's on. And the cool thing, check out the kickstand on the dashboard. If the side stand, which I call the kickstand, is down, it prevents the scooter from moving. There's no sound at all, but it's on. But you don't know if you can start it yet. So someone who's not paying attention comes here and twists the throttle. Since it's in parking, nothing will happen. But if I switch it here, look, to drive, for example, look at that. Wow, the scooter moves. Let me show you reverse here. Look, wow, it goes backward. And in parking mode, that's like the safety mode, see? You can twist it as much as you want and it won't move. So that's really good. And here we have a liquid crystal display panel, 100% digital. It's really a true tablet, very beautiful, which offers good visibility both during the day and at night.
Here we have it. Up there is the speed bar, the speedometer here in the central part right here.
Below we have the battery capacity. It's full, and here is the little bike actually. It's a really cute little scooter and it shows 0, 25, 50, 65 and 100%. It's fully charged. It also shows the voltage here, so it has 78.5 volts. The battery is practically full. And here we also have an odometer located in this part. Below, the turn signal, left turn signal, right turn signal. And also the high beam indicator. Here on the right side, we have the lever for you to turn it off. All the lights here you turn on the headlights.
The high beam is also located here. Where the ignition would normally be is actually the horn. It's located on the left side.
We have straight to the left.
To the right. And here we have the hazard lights. Very interesting. Here I've already shown you the riding modes. And here we have the headlight switch, high beam. And also back here, the flasher. By turning on the light here, you have this position light on. This one is not an LED, but here we have two big light projectors. I'll show you.
It lights up beautifully. Plus, you can even make it blink. Check this out. It really draws a lot of attention on the road, and here the high beam stays on continuously.
Very cool.
And in the front suspension, we have a telescopic fork, and in the rear, two springs with an external gas reservoir. And the brakes are disc brakes on both wheels, which is very good because it brings more safety for us motorcyclists with a diameter of 220 millimeters. I'm going to ride the Urban and try going up a hill. Do you think it can make it?
And I'll finish the video by telling you whether or not you need a driver's license to ride this scooter. Talk about the maintenance, the cost, and much more. Hop on and ride with me.
Guys, what a fun bike. Look, on the straight, even going slightly uphill, 75 kilometers per hour. Let me brake here. There's a little speed camera. The speed limit here is 40, so I'm going to slow down. 40 kilometers per hour, and wow, you can tell there's still plenty of power left. So for a city like this, for example, like Mogi, where I am, it's more than enough. São Paulo is stricter, with speed limits of 50 kilometers per hour, and in neighborhoods, it's 40 or sometimes 30, depending on the location. Wow, what a fun sound to listen to. I'm already used to the fact that it doesn't make any noise at all, but who isn't used to electric vehicles, well, it's strange at first. You wonder, oh my God, is it on? Is it on? And look, I'm in drive mode. So I think in the city, drive mode is enough, or maybe for a really steep hill. But I'll save testing sport mode for the highway, especially since it'll use more battery. Look, there's a little uphill here. Let me honk here so the guy knows I'm here, right? All right, let's go. Let's go uphill in drive mode. Let's go. Look, it's going up at 60 kilometers per hour. The dashboard shows it's actually a 59-degree incline. It's not a very steep hill, just a normal one, like in the city. Wow, I liked it, huh? I really thought the Urban... Wow, honestly, guys.
It's not just because I'm here.
Presenting the motorcycle at the brand's invitation, really? Well, the images speak for themselves, right? You can't fake a GoPro image. There it is, running as you ride it. The battery here goes down, and you might even get a little desperate. But it's just that it's consuming a lot of energy at that moment.
Almost like it's in eco mode.
Let's put it that way, you know, when it's using more power. I mean, it really...
It's consuming a lot of battery, so you can ride in a more relaxed way, let's say. For example, I'm not even in sport mode here because I don't need to go, 80 kilometers per hour to ride around the city. So I think that someone who rides, an electric vehicle needs to have energy efficiency management in mind. She needs to be smart to ride in a more efficient way. Look, for riding in the lane, it does well.
One thing I found interesting about this scooter is that its takeoff it doesn't have that really strong kick like others I've ridden. That's actually very good because, as I said, you have to be careful with electric scooters because the torque, the takeoff, is really strong on electrics, and it can even be scary because accidents. On this one, I found it very well, let's say, calibrated, the motor.
Right? So I found the torque interesting. It's smooth and you don't get startled that much. Just reminding you that I'm in drive mode here. Let me ride a bit. Look, see, I can ride. It's very agile for riding around the city. Really, this is its natural habitat. Look, going through the lane here, it goes through easily. See? Even past the car, see? That's the biker spirit right there.
That's us, I'll follow, I'm no fool. Guys, for the city, this scooter is approved. Seriously, it's really good. I was a bit apprehensive about how it would be, the throttle, if I would have to always ride in sport mode. But it surprised me in a good way. So look, even in drive mode, I can ride around the city. I don't need to use sport mode.
It's approved for city use now.
I'm going to do something I don't recommend you do because that's not what it's meant for. But I'm really curious to see how it performs on the highway. So I'm going to take it on the highway. I'll put it in sport mode. And now, wow, the scooter has already transformed. It's much quicker and more powerful. But look, going up this big hill here on the Serra de Mogi, heading towards São Paulo, it's going about 70 kilometers per hour. I still need to check what the top speed is, but it seems like it's at the speed allowed by law. Of course, people go faster, right? 60 kilometers per hour. The monitoring here. Wow, and this electric vehicle right here, look, it's totally within the rules. Of course, once again, I don't recommend you take it on the highway, okay? I came because I'm curious, but I don't recommend you take it on the highway. It's meant for the city, okay?
Even in sport mode, it's performing excellently. It just goes when going downhill, look. Look, let me tell you, it did well going uphill, huh? It surprised me.
And as for the handling, wow, it's really good, both in the city and on the road. I found it light. There are other electric scooters I've tested that are a bit lighter, but then in my opinion, being too light is bad because you kind of lose that sense of sturdiness, It's like you're riding a bicycle. Here, it's super light. Now look, we're on a straight stretch here. Look, 85 kilometers per hour. It actually hit or even went a little over, but look, it's within the top speed that the company mentioned, see?
Really, the speed, look, it hit 70.
But no, on the straight, it really matched exactly, right? The top speed that MAD reported to us, I was able to confirm here.
Before ending the video, let's drive more on this big hill because I know it's something you're curious about. I'm in drive mode on this hill here, look.
There's an even bigger hill.
I'm gonna show you. Let me switch to sport mode so I can go faster here. Wow, it's really fun. Look, this scooter handles like a bike. I think the brakes are really well adjusted for this scooter's engine. I really didn't feel like it was spongy. I didn't feel like it was lacking, you know? I think the brakes were a pleasant surprise along with the engine. Let's go. I'm gonna go up that big hill. Let's see if it can make it up. It's going up, it's going up. If I had come with more speed, it would definitely go up better.
That speed bump, look, it's going up.
The worst part is 28 kilometers per hour is about the average speed here in the condo that you have to drive. Look, it went up. Now I'm going to go down it and go up in drive mode. I was in sport mode. Let's go. All right, we're in drive mode now. Let's go.
In drive mode, it's also disappearing.
Actually, sport mode is better. 23. Makes sense. Sport mode for steep hills, but even so, drive mode made it up, right?
Awesome.
Very good, very good. As you saw, I rode a lot. The Urban went up the hill. That's really good.
The road is not meant for that, guys. The focus is urban riding in the city.
And with it, you won't have any trouble.
This time I couldn't test it with a passenger. Maybe I'll get it again with the folks from MAD.
And make a full review video. Just a reminder, this is an introduction video for the Urban. It's not a full review with pros and cons, motoplay style. So if you want me to do a complete review of this electric scooter, go ahead and like the video, share it with everyone, because if this video gets a lot of views, then I'll know you want a full review. When it comes to maintenance, guys, it's infinitely cheaper than a motorcycle or a combustion scooter. I'll tell you the maintenance items you'll need to take care of.
Starting here with the brake fluid, since there are two discs right front and rear, we have the calipers here, okay?
So you'll have to change this periodically. Brake pads are another item you'll need to replace as they wear out, just like the tires. So basically, that's it, okay? You'll have to put oil in the suspension. Guys, it's infinitely cheaper than a combustion motorcycle, since you don't have a chain or belt here in the case of a scooter. You don't have to keep putting in engine oil, changing this filter or that filter. Look, if you're really worried about maintenance, that's not a problem with the Urban. And the cool thing, as you saw, is that these are easy items. You can find them at any store, and any mechanic with minimal training will be able to do the maintenance for you. When it comes to labor, I'm sure that in your city, there's at least one mechanic who knows how to change brake pads and fluid.
Brake fluid and tire.
Regarding the tire, an important point, as I mentioned, the rear wheel is already the motor and it has the connection cables there. I asked MAD to find out if it was difficult to do. For example, if the tire gets punctured and I have to change it, how does it work? And they said that the connection is super simple, so the mechanic won't have any trouble. For example, changing the rear tire if it gets punctured.
Yes, you need to register it. There's no way around it.
One cool thing is that the Imposto sobre a Propiedade de Vehículos Automotores tax legislation for electric vehicles, depending on the state, can even reduce or completely eliminate the fee.
So it's really important for you to check the legislation in your state. Maybe you can avoid paying the imposto sobre a propiedade de vehículos automotores for your urban.
A question that a lot of people have is whether you need a national driver's license to ride. For the urban, the answer is yes, you do need one.
The legislation some time ago was a little outdated, but it caught up and has already been updated. So we have two issues.
If the electric vehicle goes up to 50 kilometers per hour as its maximum speed, you can drive it, for example, with an authorization to drive a moped, which is an authorization to drive a moped. However, the urban goes up to 85 km/h, so you'll need a Category A license. Let me be clear, there's no electric motorcycle that doesn't require a driver's license anymore.
Stay alert. If someone tries to sell you one saying you don't need a license, that person is not well informed about the law.
Just so you have an idea, if it has a throttle here, it's already considered a moped and you need a license, at least an authorization to drive a moped.
The ones that don't need it are electric bicycles, but they're very weak.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends.
Just a reminder, if this gets a lot of views and people really like it,
who knows, maybe I'll make a full review video with pros and cons. So that's it.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There are more electric motorcycle playlists here on the Moto Play channel. See you next time. Moto Kiss.